Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Overly Misguided, where today I have a very, very special guest. She is not only my best friend, but she is a full-time college student, full-time athlete, and my best friend in the entire world. My sister, the other half of this podcast, Brooke Wells. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. I know it's been a while.
Yeah,
since
it's been a
I've
while.
Been on here.
Yeah.
So
The people miss you. Everyone's literally been asking, when is your sister coming back on? When is your sister coming back on? She's back, people. And I'm very excited to have my partner in crime back.
I'm excited too. I'm glad I finally had time to, be able to film. So
No, literally. I mean, she's a full-time college student. Do you want to tell them what you're going to college for? I feel like
I'm going to college for psychology. Because, actually, originally I wanted to go for criminal justice, but I mean, soon, down the line, I'll end up getting back to that. But for right now, psychology is my main focus.
Okay. How is class for you right now? Because I know, literally at our house, she has, a whole calendar next to her schedule. Her calendar is her schedule. And, she's got these sticky notes everywhere when class is going to start. I'm just wow, everything has to be, really, mapped out for you.
Mm-hmm. I actually handle my schedule differently than how I did starting off, because originally I would try to be ahead of everything, but then I had to change it because when I was so ahead of everything, it actually confused me, because sometimes I wouldn't be doing the work properly, so I had to slow myself down and be okay, I have to handle it like this now. So it's going more better now than what it was in the beginning.
That's good. I'm glad to hear. I feel like I kind of see it too, because I feel like in the beginning you were kind of frazzled because you're like, hey, I got to be here and I got to be here and do this. And now it's I feel like everything's flowing. You're barely at home anymore. I barely get to see you.
No, I used to come home at 3, 4 p.m. I get home at
12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Literally hanging out with her little college friends. But it's exciting to see you transition into this adult Brooke and see this different side of you. Now you're handling more responsibilities, you're cheering on a college team. How is that right now? I know you guys just had your first game.
Yeah, we had our first game last Thursday. We have another one this Thursday, which I'm excited for. I wasn't nervous. I thought I was gonna be a lot more nervous than what I was.
Yeah.
Because I was it's college, it should be different, but it really wasn't.
You were literally been there, done that.
Because I've been cheering for so long. It just
Well, you've cheered in front of larger crowds. When you had competitive season in high school, we would be at those big competition. There's 10, 20 teams. Both sides of the stands are filled, huge. I think the biggest one we went to, what was that? Oakland. It was that first big one. Where was that at?
Are you talking about Avondale? Something
It might have. We traveled an hour 45 minutes for that one.
Oh no, it was farther. Was it a black school or was it a?
No, it was. I remember I tripped and fell in the hallway on the way walking in. I was wearing these really cute black thigh highs, and I was trying to walk in super fast because we had to hurry up and get in there. So mom and dad were gonna park the car, and I was gonna take you where you needed to go.
Oh,
and
no, I remember.
So
I can't remember the name of the school, but I remember that. That was crazy.
It was so embarrassing, and everyone just looks at me.
Bad, wasn't it?
It was. It was slippery.
I remember that. It was.
I was really trying to stunt in these heels.
No, I don't know. No, do you know this girl? She's oh, I want to come to one of your basketball games and come in there with a big old fur coat and big old boots and everything. I'm Shay, it's.
I feel like I want to do the most. I'm coming to support my sister. You gotta dress the part. You can't come out not looking dripped. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but it's such a small college. Ain't nobody gonna.
I don't care. You never know who you're gonna. I could run into Jack Harlow for all I know.
Oh. Your obsession with Jack Harlow.
I love this man. Jack Harlow, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, I love you. From the bottom of my heart, I love you. And if you wanted to, hook up, my DMs are open.
Anyways.
Okay.
So
back to transitioning from high school to college. So what's something that you expected to be a certain way that's, completely different than what it actually is?
I guess it was the people, because a lot of people said when you go over to college, the people are going to be a lot more genuine than they were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's not really true. It's literally still high school. People like the drama and stuff, it's literally very much so. It's giving high school.
Clicks, everything.
No, yeah. And like, I thought it was going to be like that because everybody told me it was going to be like that. But like, I don't know if it's just because like I'm at like a small college, so it's like that, or I don't know.
Well, probably because like you said, everyone knows each other. So it's like, of course, people are going to click up with the people they know and cause drama. Because, you know, with more people, there's more drama, especially with girls. Lots of girls, there's lots of drama. Who's dating who hooked up with who, this, that.
No, but to go back with like the cliques that you said, like, because like the school's, what is it, like 80-something% athletes. So like the whole school's basically athletes.
Just
like,
fucking each other.
Everywhere you go, it's athletes. So it's like all like the people who are on the cheer team, we all hang out. The baseball team, they hang out. Track, they all hang out. So it's like very like
it's giving High School Musical.
No, it is.
Now, with, you know, cliques comes drama. So, like, what's the tea? What's been going on at college for you? Let's hear about the boy situation.
So, where do I begin, first of all?
She's in her phase where she learned that, like, niggas ain't shit.
Because it's like, yeah, I knew that in high school, but, like, no, guys. The white high school I went to, no guys wanted a black girl. So, like, I never had
now they do.
I never had to deal with, like, people, like, really, like, wanting me. So now that, like, I'm at this college where there's, like, more black guys and, like, they know what, like, they want more because they're, like, they're mature, right? So, the guys at my school have, like, been, like, on me. Like, they've been, like, on me. Because, like, I first got there and there was, like, this one guy. I think, yeah, I was, like, walking with my one friend from the cheer team. And he came up to me. He was, like what's your Instagram, right? And, like, I didn't think anything of it because, like, to be honest, I kind of thought he was gay. So, like, I didn't think he wanted me like that. He was gay. Until, like, he slid into my DMs and he was, like, flirting with me all the time in there. And then it finally clicked. I was like, oh, like, he actually, like, likes me, right? And so at the time I was talking to, like, another guy, but I still wasn't interested, like, in him anyway. So I kind of had to, like, let him down, you know, be like, oh, like, only see you as, like, a friend, you know, nothing else. Like, I'm trying to focus on myself. He was like, yeah, like, I get that. Like, you know, me too. I'm trying to do the same exact thing. When, like, he was actually really hurt that, like, I did that. So.
Poor man. His ego is probably just shot.
No. Literally. And I have 2 classes with him, too. So, like, I see.
Wait, still?
Yeah, I have 2 classes with him.
Does he ever try to talk to you still or no?
No, yeah, he'd just be like, hey, like, it's just regular hey. But in the back of my mind, I'm just like, yeah, like, I kind of turned you down. So, like,
oh my God. I know it's so, stuff like that is so awkward.
And then what doesn't help is that, I'll get to this part and then I'll get to that part. Because you already know about this, but obviously they don't know about this, but there was this guy I was talking to.
Oof. This is the one where the life lesson comes in.
Yeah, you already know it's about to be something. So my school had an RU barn thing. It was just kind of like a party for everybody to go to. And it was like, you know, dressed like country kind of theme. So, you know, I was wearing like a flannel, like
looking
some
real
jeans,
cute. She looked good
you
at
know.
it. You look good.
No, I did. And then I had like my locks then too. So, you know. And so me and my friends, you know, all went down to there. And like I kept hearing that there was this guy like in my friend group who wanted to, you know, like get to know me better, right? So I was like, okay, you know, like, you know, let me see him to see if he's cute or not, right? And then I like saw him. I was like, oh, you know, he's cute, right? Because like I seen him around, but like I just never talked to him.
Yeah.
And so then finally, my one friend off the cheer team was like, oh, like he's right over there. Like he wants your snap, right? And I was like, well, I'm not gonna go over like there. Like I want him to approach me. You know, like I'm the kind of person like.
I feel like most girls. I feel like obviously we can shoot our shot and shoot and score and make it. But most of the time, you want a guy to approach you.
Right.
Like, have the balls to come up, introduce yourself, get my snap, get my number, whatever you're trying to get.
No, literally. So, like, I guess he was scared to come talk to me because he was like, oh, I don't know if she's going to, like, whatever, right? I'm like, okay. So then my friend took me up to him and, like, kind of, like, left us. And we just, like, talked about, like, where he was from because, you know, he doesn't even live that far away from, you know, where we live and everything. So I was like, oh, that's kind of, you know, that's, like, good, right? We were just talking about our different experiences and stuff. He told me how he, like, used to do football and stuff like that and track. I was like, oh, okay, you know, like, I used to do track and stuff like that when I was in high school. So then, you know, I got his snap, and then after that day, we didn't talk for a little bit. And I had cheer camp that weekend, so like I was focused on that.
I remember.
And so the next week after that was my birthday, I'm pretty sure. And so we didn't start talking until like the week of my birthday, because my birthday was on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So like everything was going good, right? Like we were all good, like because actually, my birthday, the day of my birthday, all my cheer friends like threw like a little party at like the dorm for me, and like a bunch of people came, and like there was cupcakes, like somebody brought like tacos, like it was fun, it was nice.
None of my friends have ever done anything like that for me. That makes me depressed, but continue with your story.
Okay. Yeah, but
like
you're
I'm not hurt.
like, anyways.
You're saying my friends are mid?
They're like, there are question marks sometimes.
Go on.
Yeah. This is coming from your best friend, though. If you know.
True. True. This comes from best friend.
Yeah. So, so then like we were good that day, right? Because I think that was. No, because we actually had like our first kiss like that day, like the day before my birthday. Because like I spent like, I was like spent that night before, I was there a little bit like later with him, like we were hanging out and stuff like that. And so like I like was almost there to my birthday, but then I drove home because obviously I had school and stuff like that. And so I'm trying to think of like the timeline, because everything started going bad at like some point. Like you remember this too, like everything.
I remember it just like hit this wall, and I'm just like, stuff is unfolding. This man is not who he says he is.
No, yeah, because I think I kept hearing from everybody that like at the end of the year, like he's going to like go back to like where he's from, which is Arizona. So like I was like, oh, like he didn't say this to me, so like I'm just not gonna worry about it, right? Because I was waiting for it to come from him. Because
as a mature woman should.
No,
like,
yeah. So like I was like, I'm not gonna like get mad at him because I'm like, he didn't tell me. I'm not gonna listen to what people are saying. Until one day I was driving somewhere with Quentin. I had to take Quentin somewhere with me, and so I like come out of that place, and like I look at my phone, and I got like this big text from him. This big text. He's like he was talking about like, oh, like I really like you, and like I haven't like somebody like this in like a long time, and like if we keep going down like this path, like I'm gonna fall in love and stuff like that, and just like saying like I don't want to like hurt you by like leaving next year and everything, and like lead you on. And like I like really appreciated that, because I was like, you know, he's communicating, and I know a lot of guys can't communicate. So I saw that, I was like, okay, like that's like good, that's like green light, it's good. And then after that, that's when everything started going downhill, basically, because he started becoming really distant, like out of nowhere. Like we would see each other all the time, and then like sometimes I would like text him being like, oh, like can we hang out after my class or like before practice? And he'd be like, oh, like I have to do something. And like, let me remind you, this guy does not play a sport, so like he doesn't have a job either. So like I'm like
where's your free time going, bud?
I'm like, what are you doing, sir? Right? But you know, I told myself, I said, you know what, I freaked myself out in the past and I overthought, so I'm not going to do that with this starting off, because like I always used to do that. I used to sabotage myself. So I said, I'm not going to do that, which I should have, because I could have gone out of the situation.
Turns out you were right in the end.
No,
to feel
literally,
that way.
I could have like. That situation could have been.
But it's good on you. You were trying to like change it up, and it's like, no,
right.
I was still right.
And so one day this was after we were very, very distant. It was the weekend, and I was kind of, my one friend, by the way, all these friends are off the cheer team. I'm going to keep saying off the cheer team. My one friend from the cheer team texted me and was like, oh, like, do you, like, are you and, like, blah, 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 like, done? And I was like, no, why? And she was like, oh, well, like, he was hanging out with, like, this girl, like, at a party, and, like, let me remind you, I knew he went to a party. But that's not because he told me. I knew because I saw his story. He didn't tell me. I saw his story. So I was like, okay, he's at a party, right? And so I was kind of freaking out, because I was like, why does she think that we're done? Because she heard it from one of his friends. So I was like, that's like a reliable source. Like, he's close to that person, so like he would know what's going on. right?
He would have all the tea.
No, right. So I texted him. I said, like, are we good, right? And he was like, yeah. And I said, somebody told me differently, basically. And I was like, okay, like, what's going on? And he was like, well, like, we've just been very distant lately. And, like, I was like, it was because of you. Because, like, he was, like, sick or whatever, right? So he's like, oh, I don't want to get you sick. But I'm like, that could have literally easily been an excuse.
No, literally.
He was like, oh, like, you know, like, you were being distant when it was him literally the whole entire time being distant from me, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So this goes into this other part that's still part of the story, but kind of different. So the same time that this guy liked me, another guy liked me.
Mm-hmm.
Not the creepy Instagram DM guy.
Not that one. Not the first one.
And, you know, he seemed really cool. And, like, he was talking to me one day in the lobby. That's where everybody kind of hangs out at my school. Is like the lobby is kind of like the area of people all the time. And me and him were just having a conversation. We were, like, really vibing well, right? Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the conversation, he was like, oh, can I have your number? And I was like, oh, sure. I didn't think anything of it because I'm like, you know, like, I was clearly.
It's
like,
college. We're mingling, making friends.
And I was like, I'm clearly talking to the guy that's sitting by me, so I, like, thought that he would just know.
Yeah.
Right. When in reality, he didn't. And he was texting me that day and was like, oh, like, do you know who this is? I was like, yeah. I had no clue who was texting me. I had absolutely no clue. I was kind of just like.
You're like, okay, yeah, I know who this is.
And then he was like, it's Mike. I said, oh, yeah, no, I said, I knew that.
You're like, I had no idea.
And then we just kind of talking back and forth. And I said, oh, like, why'd you ask my number, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, oh, well, like, you know, I thought you were fine and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff. Right? And so in my head, two options appeared.
Mm-hmm.
I said, now, I could flirt with this guy while I'm talking to this guy. Because we're not even in a relationship, so I can talk to him.
She said add him to the roster.
No, literally. I said, I can talk to him, right? But I said, or I could cut it off and then just, like, completely just stay talking to who I was talking to currently at the time. But then the next day after, option one was not an option anymore because the guy I really wanted to talk to originally came up to me and was like, look, I think that person likes you.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if you want us to be something, you have to cut it off.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. Because I really liked him and I was focused on him, I said, you know what, I'm going to end it.
Yeah.
So I pulled this dude to the side. Like, literally aside. It's like I was on The Bachelorette.
Yeah, she literally got to play Bachelorette. It was kind of cool.
Had to pull him. So I pulled him to the side and then I was like, look, I like your friend. Mm-hmm. Basically, I said, I like your friend. I was talking to him longer. Like, we just want to, like, keep that going. And dude was real bold. He said, just tell me when you guys fall out. Now, let me remind you, that was literally his friend. He was like, tell me when y'all fall out.
I was like, Brooke, you win. Because, like,
I was like,
some dudes will not play background. They will not play background guy.
No, and I was just so shocked. I was not expecting, because, like, first of all, that was his friend. I know guys, like when it comes to their friends, like, they're very, like, well,
yeah, like guy code, like, don't fuck with the girl I fuck with.
Dead on said, tell me when y'all fall out. And then that was
almost like he kind of knew, like, this dude, don't fuck with him, because he...
Yeah, that should have been,
red flag.
Number 2. And then that same day, he pulled me to the side, like, himself, and was like, so, like, what's going on with y'all two? I said... And I'm like, dude, did I not just tell you that, like, I want your friend, not you? Like, it, like, wasn't clicking in his head. Like, what I told him, like, is what I told him. I was like, yeah, I said, me and him are good. Like, we just started talking, but, like, we're good right now. He was like, okay. He's like, yeah, just let me know. I was like, wow. Like, that was interesting. First time I ever experienced something like that.
No, dude, my confidence had just, like, shot through heaven.
Yeah. So, to go back to what I was saying with, like, the one guy who I ditched the other guy for, basically, when he was being distanced during that time, I started going towards the other guy who said, you know, tell me when y'all fall out. I went towards him. Because, like, I thought he was, like, interesting at first. Like, we had a good conversation. Like, the vibes were there. It's just I was talking to somebody else at the time. So, I was like, you know what? I said, like, Mike's still there. I'm like, Mike's probably still interested in me. Whatever. So, I was like, okay. You know, so that day my school had I think a flag football game, right? So, like, he participated in that. And so, like, he was like, oh, you going to watch me, right? He's going to I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch you, whatever. We were just kind of like, so we all get back to the lobby after the game. After, like, because the guys won. The guys won. So we get back from there. And that first guy.
Just say his name at this point. You said the other one.
Yeah, I was going to say him because, well, anyways. Okay.
Say D.
So, I don't care. I'm going to say his name. So, Des was in the lobby, okay, when I came there. And I was like, because, like, I don't know why I felt guilty. Like, me and him, like, he said he wanted to be friends. Like, we were growing apart. Like, he said he wanted to be friends. So I said, I don't know why I'm feeling guilty right now. Yeah. I guess partially because, like, I still liked him in a way. And, like, I knew he still liked me. But, like, we were just kind of like. Yeah. So.
He supposedly was moving away.
Yeah.
In a year. At the end of the year.
And it was just so messy because it's like I was walking with Mike and like with like my other friends. And then, like, he was just there. And, like, the way he just, like, looked at me was like, I did something wrong. When, like, he literally said, let's be friends.
He was hurt.
No, he was. And, like, I didn't know that till, like, recently that he was as hurt as he was, basically. So that night goes on, and I think Mike had to go, like, take a shower or something because he was all muddy from the flag football game. And Dad started acting towards me how he acted, like, when we first started talking. Like, he was being all flirty with me. He was like, how he was like throwing stuff at me. You know how like guys are like when they flirt with girls, they like
throw stuff.
They literally act like they're 5. Yeah. They're like, kind of stuff, right? And so, like, he literally was throwing peanuts at me. Like, he was literally throwing peanuts at me. And then he like got up and like gave me like a hug. It was like really weird.
But I miss you. Like, I know I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I just thought it was really weird. I said, okay, it's whatever. And I just felt really bad because, like, I still liked Des at the time, but, like, I was leaning on Mike because, like, Mike asked me, I didn't say this, but, like, earlier that day, Mike asked me, so are you and Des done? And I was like, yeah, when, like, we weren't, like, really, really done, but, like, that.
The more you talk, I really realize, yeah, you are my sister.
No, because that same day is when I was completely done with him because that night. This was after he had left, and I had pulled, because he's a friend who's like a girl he's like really close with, who like he literally tells everything to. I pulled to the side and I talked to her and I was like he seems better now, like, because he was acting really weird the whole day. I said, he seems better now, like, what did you say to him that made him, And she was like, oh, he was kind of telling me like his situation and stuff like that and everything. I was like, oh, okay.
She's talking about Des, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you clarified that.
And me and her were just having a conversation more and more, right? And then she was like, I thought you and Des were done too. And I said, why is that? And she starts going to a story about how, because like he is apparently talking to 2 other girls. And basically while he was talking to me that whole time, he was talking to 2 other girls, one that goes to the school I go to and one that's back home in Arizona. And I was like, what the heck is going on?
Niggas ain't shit.
But, like, a part of me wasn't mad. Shit. Like, I thought I was going to be more mad than what I was. Like, I guess I was like, this makes sense. Because at first, everything seemed too perfect. And then all of a sudden, he was distant. So it just kind of made sense. Like, I wasn't as mad as I thought I was going to be.
You felt like something was up.
Yeah.
You just didn't know what it was.
It just kind of made sense. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. And so, yeah, I'm talking to this new guy now. Basically, Mike is the guy I'm talking to now. And I wish I really overlooked him at first. And I wish I didn't do that because he's literally so great.
I think what really threw you off is one, like, I think because obviously Des approached you and he was like the first kind of like, okay, I want to go into this because this is another question I had. How we think, like, when we automatically see a black guy, sometimes we assume he doesn't like black girls. So it's like, we don't even like try to entertain that.
And that's because that's what we grew up around. Yeah. Because all the black guys that went to our school, which there were very few that went to our school, they always went for white girls. All of them. So that's what we always assumed. Like, so when I got there, I said, oh, no way he's going to be into me. Because let me show you, like, he's like, you've seen a picture.
I saw the dude. I was like, damn.
He's like built too. He wants to be bodybuilder. Like, he's built. Like, he's
like, was he like 6'3"?
He's something. I don't know. No, he's a very attractive looking person. So, Yeah.
So is the other man.
No. He is
They're both very good looking dudes, but
yeah.
I think we automatically make this assumption as like black women that like, you know, with social media and like how things are like shown and promoted that like black men don't like white women. Yeah. Type of way.
I think it's just the area also. Like what area you guys were, like for me, I don't know, I was in the city growing up, so I was just always around black women. But when I moved out to West Bloomfield, I've noticed that like the black guys was more so into like the Chaldean girls or the white girls for sure. But I think I don't know if it's an attraction or if it's like dominance. Like I noticed that like with the guys that mention it, like they seem like it's less of a headache dealing with a white girl like that.
Yeah, because white girls don't call them out like when they're on some bullshit. They just kind of go with the flow. They just like, because I saw this thing where it's like, you know, like the stereotype where it's like a darker skinned black man and it's like an overweight white woman, and it's like he uses her because she knows she can't get any. This sounds terrible what I'm about to say, but just go with the analogy here that I'm about to give. Okay. She's insecure about who she is and she feel like she can't pull anybody. So when the black dude comes in, he's milking her for all her money. He's going to go cheat, step out. She's not going anywhere because she's not going to find anyone better than this man. That's how she feels mentally. So that's kind of why you see a lot of that dynamic.
Yeah, and I feel like going to something else, another reason why black men date outside of their race as well, I mean, I truly believe this.
Self-hate?
Literally. Because you've talked about this before. Like, it's because they haven't seen, like, some maybe haven't seen, like, a strong, like, black, like, father figure in their life. So, like, they don't really know, like, what to look up to. And so, like, they kind of hate themselves because, like, they don't know, like, what to view as, like, oh, like, this is good, this is not good.
And they have the black mom who had to play that mom and dad role. So it's like, you're looking at her as that masculine and that feminine. So, like, you're equating that dad role to a black woman. And it's like, so that's why there's also the stereotype that black women are more masculine, more aggressive, more, I guess, tough and can take more. And it's like, I'm a soft person. Like, I have emotions. I'm real. I have some depth to me. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. Because, no, I literally have heard it from Dez's mouth and, like, some other, like, black guys from the school trying to say, like, yeah, like, we can't handle black women because, like, they're too aggressive and stuff like that, trying to say, like, ooh, like, I just can't stand y'all. But then they're saying to me, oh, but you're different, though, Brooke. You're different.
That different comment is so stupid.
I absolutely hate it.
Because what's different about me, the way I talk, that's literally it.
No, right.
I'm still black at the end of the day. So
it's
like no, you're stereotyping your own people.
No, literally. They're like, oh, you're not ratchet. Like, you're not ghetto. Like,
the fuck?
Like, what separates us from them? Like, because we're still
and you're literally
black.
just assuming that everyone is literally the same. Everyone is different. Everyone
so, like,
has different stories.
You're stereotyping your own race.
Because you hate yourself.
Wait, so I have a question for Brooke. So, like, the school that you went to, did the black guys were they acting suburban or were they acting like hood niggas? Like, what was how was they acting in school?
See, that's kind of hard to answer because it's like they would act like hood, but like they would also act white because like they would try to like they're trying to like impress like the white kids. So like they're always act like goofy during class. They're like joke off and stuff, like try to be super loud, but like it's to impress.
And the white kids love it. They eat that shit up. But they like wear like the boat shoes and
literally
flamingo shorts with the button up shit. Right. So they're giving frat boy.
So, and I mean, I asked that because I mean it was the same thing for me, and it came to a realization probably when I got older. Like, bro, like you acting like a hood nigga in a suburban environment. Obviously, somebody care about you, like for you to be in this environment. So why are you even on that tip? But I guess the older I got, I realized that it was, I guess, for show. And I didn't know, well, I guess I wanted to see, in your case, was it the situation of they were just completely suburban kids that just was mentally thinking, okay, white or whatever, or were they trying to act the hood role to get the attention or whatever like that? So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was like split down the middle. Like I would notice more like the dark-skinned guys would act more like hood and then like joke around in class, try to get the attention and like approval of the white kids. And it was mainly like the mixed kids that would act like more like white or like in like the suburban. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. They were trying to really like assimilate into like the school and the environment and everything.
Right.
But speaking on high school, I wanted to talk about like weird homecoming, freaking do you remember that type of stuff? Like, where you like dress up and go to homecoming and you would like grind. People would literally, there'd be like this big, huge like mosh thing in the middle of the gym. And people would literally just be like grinding coochies in there.
No, it was
disgusting.
It was crazy because like
condoms on the floor.
No, like people literally like bring like they would like be smoking in there, they'd be drinking in the middle, like all of it.
I remember one time there was this homecoming and they made the DJ like stop the music and they like named off a list of names. They're like, we know you've been drinking tonight, blah blah blah. If you don't leave, they were like calling out like a list. If you don't leave like right now, homecoming is over. So everybody's like, find the people, get out the crowd because you're not about to do homecoming for everybody.
No, they always would call it out people and like it was like so funny because I'm just like, y'all gonna get caught. Like this is like already like a small school and like we have chaperones like literally like watching the whole entire circle. So like you're gonna get caught.
They see smoke going up. What
right.
the fuck do you
like where's that coming from? So it's like
you're not airbending in there. So like
no, literally you're not the Avatar. Like literally.
So it's like, what are you doing in there? I think one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me at homecoming is this was like the first time I like had like grinded on anyone. And my mom had made like beans that night, like very like Mexican style dinner. You probably know what I'm about to say. So I'm grinding on this kid. I'm like, this is for the first time someone's like grabbed my hips and it's like, we're grinding. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And I was like trying to hold in this fart, guys. For dear life. I was like, God, please. He probably could feel me like clenching my ass cheeks. So I was like, it was so bad. It was so bad. And I just had to let it rip. And dude just like walks away. I was so embarrassed. I was just like, okay. And like I was like, I hope he doesn't like recognize me. I later on had classes with this person. And I hope to God that they don't remember me. I obviously know who they are. I think he actually follows me on Instagram.
That's wild. I ain't never heard
I mean, I'm
shit
cute
like
now,
that.
so like.
I mean, yeah, that's a good.
And I'm not available. Only to Jack Harlow, but no one else. I'm sorry.
That's
What else? There was this one time in high school where I switched classes on purpose to be in the same class as my crush, which was kind of stupid at the time, but I always embarrassed myself in that class, and it was never on purpose.
Okay, when you say embarrassed, like what do you mean?
It was gym class because my best friend at the time was in this gym class, and she told me, she's like, your crush is in my gym class, and I was like, are you fucking serious? So I went to my counselor, and then I talked to, remember that one teacher who I was always like cool with? Chamberlain.
Okay.
I went into his classroom and I was like, hey, I need my schedule changed. I knew he could do it because he was dating one of the counselor ladies. So I was like, hey, put me in this class right now. So I went into that gym class, and I remember this one time I was walking out of the gym and I was on my period that day. So I was wearing like granny panties and I was wearing like high-waisted jeans. Bad idea. That's not a good combo. No. And him and his friends were walking behind me and they were just like, I hate when girls wear underwear like that. And I was just like, of fucking course out of all people. It's me and I'm walking in front of my crush. And I was obviously nervous to walk in front of my crush at the time because I was just like, holy shit. By the way, I smashed my high school crush. That was on my bucket list, and I did that shit.
Did he know that you had a crush on him at that time?
No, he did not.
I literally remember I would hear about this dude like every single day. She'd be like, oh my gosh. I'm like, girl,
I had a problem.
She did.
I literally but I like manifested. I had to, like, High School Me had to have manifested the hookup then. But
that's real. Nah,
we're cool now. We're cool.
That's what's up.
That's yeah. I'm trying to think. What is our next topic? Me and my sister have both kind of went through the same kind of phases because we've grown up in the same area.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've kind of experienced the phases before she has. So
it like helped me not do certain things.
And I would like pass down the advice to her. So let's talk about our white boy phase.
That's a real phase. That's a real ass phase.
It is a real phase.
Okay, but like mine was way worse than yours.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Way worse.
The first one? Brooke, that was terrible.
You're talking about my first boyfriend, right? Oh yeah. Like
he has now since fallen off the face of earth. We do not know where this man is.
No, seriously,
I
heard him so bad, like nobody's heard of him. Like he didn't even graduate. Like he was supposed to graduate with us.
He just like disappeared.
He didn't graduate. I don't know where he is. So
I'm sorry to that man, but
no, literally. It was so bad too, because I feel like I didn't love myself then, which is why obviously I dated him, because like I really downgraded. Like it was very, very bad. It was bad.
Wait, is this like the first relationship in high school, or like what was this?
No, yeah, it was my first boyfriend I had in high school.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
Yeah, and this was my junior year, I'm pretty sure, right? I think it was my junior year. And yeah, it was over the summer because he played football and I was a cheerleader, right? So, but we had already known each other because we were going to elementary school like for like a year. So we had just known each other, just never really like talked. And he like hit me up one day. It was like, oh, like we should go out one day, something like that. And I turned it on immediately. I said no. Like I can make excuses. I was like, oh no, look, I have something I have to do that day. I'll literally be at my house not doing anything. I was like, I just don't want to hang out with this guy at all. Like, no. Because it was weird because like I'm like, I've known you for like years. Like it's just I can't cross that line. Like that's really weird. And he kept like urging on and everything. Eventually I ended up budging. I said, okay, we can hang out, something like that. And everything was like going good, but it was going good in like my head because it was like my first time ever really like talking to a guy and it like going good. Because on my other talking stages I like never gone good. So like I never really had like that experience of like knowing like, oh, like Brooke, like you shouldn't like go for everything like comes towards you. No,
literally.
So that was this case. Like I literally went to because he came towards me and I was always told like, oh, like the guy should come to you. And I was like, oh, he came to me. Like that must be good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you can't
just
do that.
Go for everything. Like that's
right.
what after high, like I felt like obviously in high school I didn't think I was cute. I lost my virginity in high school, but that's like as much as I like did like that. And so like after high school when I was getting all this play, I was just like, damn, like
no,
what is happening? It was mainly from like white boys that went to my high school that were hitting me up, and I'm just like, we went to the same damn high school. I did not get asked to prom. I did not get asked to homecoming, snow coming, none of those dances. But right after high school, when I graduate, and I look this good, now,
yeah,
it's not adding up. I hated that so much. But yeah, I like any fish that came in my pond. I was like, hey,
no,
it's like we're fishing.
Which also doesn't help because like the area we were in, so like we didn't get like that attention. So when we did, we were like after it. We were like, yeah, like we weren't like
I want to know like the psychological breakdown of that, like. I mean, obviously it's affected us, but like, and what, like, obviously it made us like go for anything, but like, I want to know like the other effects. Like, has it like trickled down into something else? I don't know. You are a psychology major.
Okay, so like when you say that, like, what do you mean?
Like how we felt unwanted in like a romantic partner type of way. So how does that like trickle down and affect us in the way we pick a partner?
Well, I feel like it's going to affect people in different ways. Like for me, I feel like it made me put all of my attention towards like the sport I play, which is cheer. So I feel like that kind of trickled down to that. I don't know how it affected you, but like I know that's how it affected me. Like I like put all my attention towards sports, and then I made sure I was good at them.
Okay,
because I wasn't getting that like romantic part of my life, so like I focused my energy more towards like sports.
Okay, that's a good way. Some people. Other ways. I don't really know mine. I'd have to dig back into the past.
No, but to go back on like the whole, my first boyfriend thing, it ended very bad. Like I'm just trying to say we should not have gone out as soon as we did, because like we were talking for literally like 2 weeks and like we were already dating. Like talked for literally 2 weeks, and that should have been like.
I feel like the talking stage should last like 2 to 3 months, honestly.
Something like that, but like for sure not 2 weeks. And like I didn't even know the guy, because like. When we broke up, I found out he was, this is going to make no sense, but he literally was racist. It doesn't make any sense, because like, but no, he was racist. Like, he had like Confederate flags on his truck. Like, he supported, he supported all the black killings that happened like that summer after like we like broke up, right? He was a completely different person than what I thought he was.
Insane. Like how someone can like flip a switch. I think it's crazy how people can be what you want them to be in the moment.
Right.
And then after just like switch and they're a completely different person. I'm like, you should be an actor because you're good.
Right.
You got me.
I also just showed like, I never even really liked him, because like I told you this before, but like whenever, because he had a job at the time, and whenever we would go out or hang out or something, I would be like, did you get paid? And he'd be like, no. I'd be like, take me home. Because I did not want to hang out with this dude. Like, I would only, like, hang out with him when he bought me stuff, basically.
She's not a gold digger. She was just a high school girl who wanted food.
Yes.
And needed someone to pay for it.
Yes. Exactly.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But, I mean, I hope he's not dead.
No.
I don't wish.
No.
I don't wish.
She had to wait. She had to think about it. Yeah,
No, I don't.
sure?
Nah.
You said he was racist, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What Let me stop. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Is there anything else you want to add or say to the people? It's been a long time since they've seen you.
I don't know. I guess it's just like, life's going good right now. Oh, actually,
I know what you're about to say.
Yeah. So this was the day of my game. So it was last Thursday, and one of my old coaches had texted me and was like, "Oh, okay." So let me say this. So when I was in high school, I used to have like this gymnastics people that would like come in. Their name was like Core Athletics. So they would come in and they would like spot us right and everything. And so she had actually, one of the ladies that actually followed me, who used to spot us, she followed me on Instagram. And I didn't think too much of it, but I was like, I haven't been in high school for a while. Like, you haven't been able to like, spot us for like 2 years because, COVID and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, oh, like you followed me after all this time, right? It kind of thought it was weird, but I was like, it's not that weird because, connected to Holly. So like, I went there. So
she knows who you are.
Right. So it wasn't that weird. But then when my old coach texted me, it was like, oh, she like reached out to me asking for like your information because she wants to like hire you to like, help out with like their like gymnastics team and stuff like that, like travel around like where they go, right? And I was like, I was shocked because I was like, I was not expecting that because like their brand is like really big, like they're like really good. And like I just wasn't expecting them to like reach out to me. Like they reached out to my old coach to get in contact with me. Yeah. Because they want to hire me. Like that was crazy.
Girl, your tumbling skills are good. Like, who was always front and center during the cheer comps? Who was always the one, like, when they had, like, both the people stunting? Who was the one flipping across the freaking mat? You've worked hard. I think that's a great thing to, like, finally have your work recognized. Like, hey, we want to hire you because we saw the skills that you were able to have and do, and you do them at such a good level. And then even your other high school coach, she brought you back for tryouts.
She brought me back like multiple times, come like help with like the girls. But I guess sometimes I just don't think in my head like, oh, like, because I guess sometimes I forget how like good I am, if that makes sense. Like I forget because like I don't want to get like people always like don't get a big head. So like I guess sometimes I don't try. So like I just forget.
Don't forget, you are freaking amazing. Look at what you've accomplished. I remember when you were a little baby, like. We're 5 years apart, by the way.
Yeah, some people wouldn't guess that. They sometimes think I'm the older one. I don't, but yeah.
You are mature for your age, I guess. But
I guess.
But I'm really proud of you and everything you've done and accomplished. Scholarship, cheer, getting offered a job, being a full-time student. Like, I dropped out first semester of college because I was just like, fuck this. I'm so proud of you. Like, I just was like, no.
No, and then on top of that, I'm in the Black Student Union at my school, too.
She's just doing it.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to do more stuff I never did in high school because I was only focused on sports. So I literally didn't join any clubs or anything.
You did so many sports in high school.
No, I did.
You literally did sideline, competitive. You did softball. You
volleyball,
did track.
I think that was it.
Yeah, everything, basically. But
I did a lot.
But is there anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
I mean, that's all I really have right now.
I'm sorry. Whatever. I guess I'll say my 2 cents. Remember, self-care is very important. Take care of yourself. You come first, and everyone else comes last. And that is us signing out for episode 6 of Overly Misguided.